just a second here and I will let you know. Zach, would you mind being my checker over there on the city's webpage to see if you get a meeting pop up here in a second? I'll mute my mic also in a second, so won't hear all that in the background. Okay, you guys are good. Have a good meeting.
Oh, that's Donna. Okay, great. Okay, Donna, are you babysitting too?
I am. Mommy is here. She's taking her home, but
So call it to order.
another meeting, huh?
Another meeting, and this is streaming on YouTube. If anybody wants to, see what we're doing, this is public and it'll be on YouTube. So officially calling the meeting to order at 4:03. And
then I'll do the roll call.
Okay.
It's Chris, by the way, for those who haven't seen me. So Debbie Stathis.
Here.
Gail Petrosov.
Here.
Chris Stathis, I'm here. Wanda Boker.
Here.
Donna Bouchon.
Here.
Morgan Jones.
Here.
And Adam is here as ex officio representing the city. So we are missing at the moment Nikki O'Keefe, Maura Burton, and Capri Walling.
And
there's Capri. Hello, Capri.
Come in. Hi.
All right. So we have taken the roll. We have a quorum, so we can start official business.
Okay, and the official business, this is a regular meeting, I have to, is the approval of the minutes, and they've already been approved. The last meeting we had was February 11th. Yeah, and those minutes have been approved. And then the next thing is report of officers, boards, and committee. So report of the chair, the last thing that we did was to have the it was the St. David's Day dinner at the Vandiver on the 2nd. And then on March 8th, there was the very nice service at St. John's Episcopal Church to celebrate St. David's feast day. And at that time, it's interesting, this little history of the COVID, whatever. We were at a distance from everybody at that time on March 8th. And since that time, what we have learned is, I think it was in June that it was mid-June that the decision was made by the Mumbles twinning that they would not be coming here. And so, that was clear. So we have to pick up from there. The other news, the sad news that we received from Mumbles Twinning is news about the death of Julian Smith. And, those of you who went over, Wanda and Morgan, he was a lovely man who saw that we got everywhere we needed to go. And he will be greatly, greatly, greatly missed. And Wanda and Johnny stayed with them. So that's a great sadness. We've sent them a donation for the Royal Navy Lifeboat Institute that Julian was a part of and very fond of. So we sent £100 to them, and several members have also sent their own donations to, some people contributed to the £100, other people contributed on their own. So that's been going on over there. And then other than that, we really haven't had much, there's not been much going on. So Vicki is the treasurer, and she is in Atlanta right now. But basically, we our Treasury Report, we have over $4,000. We have a promise from Dan in May of another. It would end up being a matched contribution, another $2,000 coming in. We're good for money. And the budget committee, we don't have anything to budget for right now. General events committee, we don't have any. Hosting committee, Wanda, bring you in just a moment. So our visit has been canceled, but I think that as everybody else has been doing since our visit is, the relationship is supposed to be one that is to foster friendship and to get to know one another, we can still do that. And we can do it the way everybody else has been doing it, through a virtual visit. So that's what I wanted to bring up with you today, and see what your thoughts are on a virtual visit. This hasn't been done before. We're going to have to use our imagination. We're going to have to, come up with different things. I have an outline in my head that I'd like to share with you, but anything that you can think of that we can do would be most, we have to work on this together, obviously. So what I had thought about doing is taking the week from October 4th, and I haven't, we told them that we want to do a virtual visit, but we've had no specifics at all. But our thoughts were that we could take the week from October 4th to October 11th or 10th. The 4th through the 10th. The 4th is a Sunday and the 10th is a Saturday. Which is about the same time as our visit was, and initiate the visit on Sunday at about 12 noon here. It'll be 5 o'clock there, with a Zoom conference, and just get people who wanted to host, people who wanted to come over, anybody who's interested to come on the Zoom and just, hello, we're started. We're excited about this, this visit. We want you to get to know us. We want to get to know you. And then to culminate on the 10th with another Zoom visit to, what do you think? Say goodbye. What have we learned? Isn't this cool? And shouldn't this continue? I mean, optimally. So in the interim, what we could do is each day have a download of a YouTube video or presentation of some sort that would involve a different thing every day. So that would be kind of 5 presentations. And it doesn't, again, it's the school teacher in me or whatever that says, okay, we'll have these, but it doesn't have to be that. It could be 2 on one day or, whatever. But just to use that week for downloads of stuff that we filmed, which we would film beforehand, so that during that week, the immediate thing that we'd be doing is to have the Zoom at the beginning, have the Zoom at the end, and then just allow for downloads, maybe emails, some sort of communication in between. So my thought was that one of the downloads, Wanda, would be the hosts, people who were planning on hosting could get somebody to film. And Adam, I don't know if you guys would come in on this, or if we should film, or what.
We can help you with that, or we could do maybe a little bit of both.
A little bit, teach us how to do it. I would have to be taught how to do it well. But welcome to here's Debbie and Chris. Welcome to our house. This is where the room you would be staying in. This is our, what we would be doing. Here's our garden, and we really wish you could be here. Just maybe a 5-minute thing of a personalized getting to know you. And again, if this sounds like a good idea, we've got from now until the beginning of October to get these things done, but it would be personalized. And given the COVID, if we could, maybe we could have the people, I don't know, arrange it somehow without masks, but being filmed by somebody in a mask, so that it would, or even put the masks on. That's why we have to do this. It's COVID. See how that works. I also thought, while I'm rambling on, I also thought that we would want to have a download that would deal with our museums, and go into each museum. I thought Dan next door has, Dan Osinich is now Dan next door, that he was interested in doing a bit on the Conowingo Dam and the history of the dam, and kind of a tour of the dam. I think that if we can get the Opera House to do a little something, And Morgan with the museums would be wonderful. And I just got a note that she's already working on that, which doesn't surprise me. And but if we could have something from the colored school, presentation from the colored school. I've been speaking with Kathleen O'Brien, who's done a lot of research on the Underground Railroad and the place of Havre Grace in that, historic event. And then the attractions. So I think there's lots and lots of, things that we can, that we can film and that we can share with our friends that we're not going to be able to see. So.
Just thinking about it, Adam, thinking about that date, if we started on Sunday the 4th, it's likely there would be a city council meeting.
Okay.
That would be the first week of the month.
Okay.
And maybe if we could ask Bill and David Glenn to, as part of the session, just make a statement announcing that there's a virtual visit going on and welcoming the virtual visitors from Mumbles.
Yep.
And we can drop that in.
You could do that. I mean, we could also maybe tie them into the meeting.
Well, except it starts at 7 o'clock here, which is midnight here.
That's right. Forgot about that.
I'll stay up till 2 in the morning.
It is fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, it's riveting. It's riveting.
Yeah.
But and I'm sure Bill would be happy to do it. Just make a statement during the meeting, and then we could even carve that out of the full meeting and drop it as one of the activities.
So that won't be a problem. We can make that an agenda item.
And then I haven't, I wanted to have this meeting before I contacted David in Mumbles, but it is, I don't know how to handle the charter thing.
Okay.
And the signing of the charter. That could be sent to us if Judith can get it done. And then we could have a signing or they could sign it there and then give it to us and we could sign it here. But those are details we'll work on. But what do you guys think of the general idea?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I was thinking too, weren't there some activities planned for that week already? Like I was thinking the Legion had something going on that week that we were going to, so the point is, it'd be fun to, even with just a cell phone camera, to just say, here's this Oktoberfest thing that you would be at if you were here.
Yeah.
We're here, but you're not, or something, So there's just, people could do a lot of this.
Happens. I mean, there's so many activities that won't happen that were planned. I mean,
well, that's a good point.
Yeah. I think this is great. And I love the dropping of videos. I think that'll be really fun. And I'm sure that everyone in Mumbles will follow along and want to see the next video. To make it more interactive, maybe we could come up with some kind of Zoom calls that are more tailored or cut down or subject specific, other than the general one. So we could have a Zoom call where we talk about we could talk about one of the museums or talk about what a perfect Saturday in Havre Grace is and have it personal. So maybe smaller groups so people can actually get to know each other and that's what Zoom, we can actually talk to each other on Zoom. So we don't have to be the ones that are doing all the presenting. It could be a conversation and we could just come up with some subject ideas that might, maybe, I don't know. I mean, it's probably not appropriate for this, but like a book club, everybody gets together and has one thing that they talk about for 30 minutes. That would help them become friends with us and appreciate the town.
And maybe even those Zoom calls could be tailored to whatever the drop is for that day.
Mm-hmm.
So that if you're doing the museums, Morgan, that Zoom call could be geared towards museums, and go through. Also, the Vandiver has, very generously that night they were going to send us off for, and maybe we could, do a interactive thing at the Vandiver somehow and get them involved in that. We were going to meet at Coakley's, if we could, do a thing at Coakley's and show them that. Yeah, I think that would be great. Yeah, that'd be great.
But
And
I
there's
mean,
also, there's
like-
also the high school and the football game too, new high school. Maybe a real quick, just even an outside shot of the high school.
There's not going to be a football game. I don't.
Well,
Yeah.
there probably won't be.
There's not going to be any football and there might not be any school.
Well,
we could do a COVID life type of Zoom where, what are you doing to get through COVID? Well, my name's Donna and I still am able to work with bees at our local farm. This is how I deal with the COVID. Or we just a way for as people to get to know each other.
Right.
That'd be great. Any other
So
ideas?
something that I've been working on since our last meeting, which feels so long ago. I had put together some drone video image of like Havre Grace as a whole, and I worked on a new 360 museum tour for the Maritime Museum. However, I got some new commercial drones with a better 4K camera. So I've actually started building an interactive walkthrough map of Havre Grace, combining the drone images and then like snapshots featuring all the different local stores, points of interest following like our signage. And then I'm working with some of the other museums to actually get 360 tours of the museums that we can do. So one of like the downloads could be check out our interactive walkthrough map, click through the different streets. You want to see like what you can shop and link to the store pages for online purchases, or here's a donation to the Legion, or hey, here's our museums and you can check out their pages. So it's going to be like a very comprehensive walkthrough, which I'm projected to have done before October. But I definitely want to reach out to the Business Alliance and Commerce just to like see how many more storefronts want to be featured than what's already on the tourism list. And then building on like what Wanda had talked about, we could actually set up Zoom or like through Google Teams, a conference style talking point. So throughout the day, there's going to be these different talking sessions. One day could feature museums. So check in at 9:30 to hear from like the Decoy Museum. 11:30 will feature the Lock House, so on and so forth. So people can choose throughout the day at different times based on their work schedules. And then we can even do Geo Tag Days through Snapchat filters. So we can actually share a geo filter between Mumbles and Havre Grace, where anybody throughout the community can take a picture on Snapchat, post it to this community Snapchat board, so people in Mumbles can throughout the day see what everyone is doing, and vice versa. We can see what everyone's doing in Mumbles that day, and we can share our COVID life in that way throughout the week.
COVID life, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That sounds wonderful.
And, you know, there have been projects that people in town have been able to realize during COVID. I was thinking of Carol Zimmerman and her compost project that obviously they've been working on it for a couple of years, but that's a local organization. I don't know if there's an organization in Mumbles that's similar to the Green Team, but they were actually able to be productive and be active and get something done during this time, and it's also an interesting part of life in Havre Grace.
Actually, that's a good point, Wanda, because a lot of our friends in Mumbles have their garden plots because most of their yards are very small.
Uh-huh.
So that would be a natural to show them our Green Team gardens here. They'd probably be interested in that.
Yeah.
And we can share the Bee City initiative that the Green Team took on in Havre Grace, which matches their pollinator baskets and their efforts as well. So we can show the similarities, but we're approaching it in a different way. So that would be cool. And definitely we can build that into like a conference style, having different talks. So we could have like a day. There's also like the Gardens Day Grace Mart that can share like what our local native plants are compared to Mumbles plants, and which ones do we have that are great for pollinators and vice versa. I know like I'm doing a seed exchange with the Swansea University. So maybe we could also probably set something up similar with fall perennials and annuals as well.
Well, that might be a thought too, because the Green Team bee club, beekeepers, we had our first harvest this year. So we have about 25 pounds of honey, which now we're not quite sure what we're going to do with it because we're not having, we're still giving some to the neighbors who are around there, but that might be something that they're designing a label for the jars, and that might be something that we could offer to say, hey, this is available. It's not easy to mail honey, but we could send, be able to send some of those packages over, and this is part of our town initiative with the green team and the bees and the food forest and such. So that might be
it'd actually be interesting to see if they'd let it into the country. I think our agriculture department would probably require some sort of licensing to make sure it's appropriately non-toxic and free of pesticides. We can check into it though.
Yeah,
It'll be
that's true, because
to make sure they really want to come next year to come get some of that honey.
We'll have it available then.
Yeah.
So because we do not pasteurize our honey. It's raw, so has the good pollen and such. But
Well, how do we get that honey?
Yeah.
You've got to talk, I'm only the beekeeper. I only take it away from the bees. So you'll have to talk to the group as to how it gets distributed. I don't get a say on that.
Sell it as a fundraiser.
Well, because it's similar to the twinning, because I think we have to be careful I don't think we can sell it.
Gotcha.
It may have to be a donation because, we get grants for the equipment and such.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, but I'm just the beekeeper. I don't want to deal with any of that kind of stuff. So that's someone else's problem.
Fair enough.
Okay, so I mean, tons of good ideas. Will you guys be on the committee, I think we need to organize committees for putting this thing together. Will you guys volunteer?
I'll do what I can. I'm not a filmographer, but
you're
well, I think
there is software that makes it so easy to make a video that's uploadable onto Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. I know because I volunteered for a political campaign during the primaries, and it took me all of 90 seconds to read the instructions and make a 4-minute video of myself and then upload it on 3 social medias. So I know that the software exists, and we probably could find a free version to do. I'm sure Morgan knows the names of them and would
have a full creative
fast forward us into that realm, but I don't think it's hard. And we could do little 3-minute videos of our house, walking around our house and our garden and what's blooming and what's growing. And on the software that I use to make my little 3-minute, I didn't edit. I just set it and then uploaded, but I'm sure that there's software where we could easily edit and then upload.
well, you make a good point too, though. Do we want to have a review committee before we post stuff and make it available?
What I was going to say is I think the first thing the committee needs to do is sort of block out what topics and how much, because I mean, Morgan ran through, what could be 50 hours worth of potential, just what she's been involved in.
could be a series.
And
So the committees could be just asking people to submit and then having a committee that says.
I think the committee should maybe focus on what topics, thinking in terms of we've got 5 days, we probably don't want more than 45 minutes on any day. And then just block that out. And then we ask for volunteers. And the last step really is any editing and processing before it's uploaded. So I think it's the first job of the committee would probably be, let's just sort of frame out a reasonable number of ideas that won't overwhelm people. They're not going to be on 24 hours a day watching us.
No. And I think shorter the better. So whatever we're talking about, we need to be disciplined.
So if we take
have a limit of 3 minutes.
Right. If we take a month to just sort of block it out, here's the day, the topic of the day is we're going to have this many 5-minute videos, next day. And then we've got 6 or 8 weeks to actually do the filming and the editing. So I think the first thing is just let's solidify which ideas are going to be most exciting for people to want to watch and they would learn the most about us. And I think that would be the first job of the committee to get that straight.
And if you guys are okay with it, just because like what I've been doing with the last couple of months, like I've been doing a lot of editing, and I use Creative Cloud app. I have all of them. So I have editing for videos and pictures and presentations, so on and so forth. So I'm more than happy to do the technical editing and putting it together and incorporating everything into the walkthrough map. But I'll definitely need help breaking down and getting the components to put together.
Yeah. So we can do that. So you guys are on the committee. I'll send an email out to you with the ideas that we've come up with so far, and then we'll see how we can operate from there to get in touch with the hosts and see what they're going to do. Morgan to do the museums, and that would be great. And then we can just get in touch with people and see what we can come up with.
I'll research what app you can download on an Android phone, and to do short videos. If each potential host does a 3-minute video of their house and their garden, and then that could be uploaded, and then we could just put them all together so that you could see all of them. And
you guys can use your Gmail account to facilitate that platform for broadcasting it.
And how much of this is going to be all pre-recorded videos that we'll upload versus like, what about the opportunity to do some live like content where they can like respond in real time, like a Zoom or some other form of live? Because you could even have like a couple people that are already like exposed to each other. Like if they want to go out to dinner at like outside at Coakley's or at the Promenade Grill or something, and then have like a live and they can talk about the restaurant and like have like dinner time conversation with the people that are watching.
Yeah, I think that would be interesting. The one problem might be, again, the time difference, because it would
do a lunch.
It would be lunchtime here for dinner time there. And I
That would work.
Yeah, and that's the kind of detail I think we can work out when we get to the committee. Maybe not try and talk through all of the possibilities here, but
I do like your point, is that we have to integrate these kind of Zoom calls that allow us to talk to each other and get to know each other. Just to have, I mean, we went to a restaurant, an outdoor restaurant, the McGregor's on the, whatever it's called, with LeBlanc, that area that's all outdoor. We went to that was the first eating experience where we went to a restaurant and ate somewhere other than our house since March. And I was a nervous wreck. I don't think I'll be doing that and just hanging out and doing a Zoom call anytime soon. But I would love to sit and chat with 3 people from Mumbles about how they're getting through this and what they're doing during their days. We could have a scheduled Zoom meeting on specific
topic with a given topic, and if you're interested, tune in. Yeah. That'd be good. No, we haven't been out to eat since March 2nd, I think.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
I haven't had a haircut since then either.
What is the rule? Because I'm too scared to go, but I mean, I go to
I know people have been going, but to me, that's a really risky activity.
Me too. And I go to the websites and there's no mention of salons. There's no mention of COVID, what they're doing, what they're not doing, nothing. Just like make an appointment.
I've got a good hairdresser for you that does a real good job and is real careful. But Adam, do we then invite anybody, since this is a public meeting, to join us if they're interested?
Yeah, I mean, I want to, or provide some type of avenue for public comment, which we could just do through email, and we could just read the comments during the meeting.
Okay.
I think that would work. And I mean, more the better, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
so you're talking for the next committee meeting on this topic?
Yeah, I mean, this would be a temporary subcommittee, not a permanent subcommittee. So would that have to be done online too, or?
Let me, I'll get an official opinion from our city attorney on that issue. I do not believe it will, though.
Yeah, and I think my understanding of the law would be we would report back in full what was discussed. And then the board, if it has to vote on yes or no on anything, that would be done in public.
Yeah,
And
as long, and also just make sure the committee is not a full quorum.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So this is wonderful, and thank you guys so much. And I will get an email out to you, and Adam, I'll include you on
Great.
all the emails, and so we can kind of get started with ideas and refining a little bit. But I am so grateful, that everybody's willing to do this, because it would be a shame to let the time go by and not have a bit of a virtual visit. So this is great. This is great.
Good to see your faces too.
Yes. Yes.
Someone besides my dog.
Yeah.
Officially, we need a motion to adjourn.
I motion to adjourn.
Okay. Second?
Second.
Okay, then the meeting is adjourned
At 4:34.
4:34. Thank you guys so much. Wonderful to see your faces, and I'll get something right out to you. Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you, everyone.
Sounds good.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Thanks again, Joe.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye.
How do I-
And I feel